Welcome to my first What I Eat in a Day. Keep in mind, I am not you, you are not me. This is just what I happened to eat today. I'm a calorie counter. I am well aware that calorie counting is imperfect and oftentimes you're roughly 200 calories off. I don't do macros. I just try to eat healthfully and in a caloric deficit. I start my day with 2 glasses of water, and then we're going to have a cannibal cereal for breakfast. If I had my food scale, that would hopefully be roughly 232 grams of raw meat mixed with peas and riced cauliflower and cheese. Cannibal sandwiches are more of like an Eastern thing, where you get a nice steak, you have it ground up at the butcher shop, and you make it into a sandwich. And yes, you're literally eating raw hamburger. So I'm going to sprinkle a little cheese on there, like I said, and it's going to be lovely and tasty. And if you hear any background noise, it's the little dog. The little dog is about to die because this is like the 500th time I've tried to get this voiceover. Okay, and this is her breakfast. The little dog's breakfast, not mine. Just kidding about it being my breakfast. The cannibal sandwich is a real thing though, apparently. So it's roughly 8 o'clock in the morning. So the dog eats. I eat. And so what I'm having is this Greek Gods yogurt and protein shake or protein powder. And my breakfasts are usually fairly small, somewhere about around 100 to 200 calories. And then my meals get larger throughout the course of the day. I pick the kind of off-the-wall flavors of the Greek Gods yogurt because that way I get to actually have some. If we just get the honey kind, which everyone in my household seems to like, I don't actually get any. So that's why it's cookies and cream flavor. Yay! And with the protein, it's about half a scoop. Since I don't have my food scale, we're going to guess that that's roughly 16 grams of protein and then roughly 85 grams of yogurt, coming out to 165 calories. And I mix that together. I'm not really sure when I started doing this, but I actually really like the texture. I know it's kind of weird, but I do like the texture, especially the first bite where it's kind of like the protein hasn't completely been mixed in with the yogurt, and I don't know, it's tasty. I like it. So there's breakfast. And I also have coffee, and I do a dribble of milk with the coffee, and I give it about 60 calories. I'm just showing you the back of the labels in case you wanted to see the nutrition facts of those 2 items. And then mix that all together. And I suppose I could add fruit and stuff like that too, but to be perfectly honest, I am not a fruit or berry eater. I don't know why. It's never been anything I've really eaten a lot of. So it is also Finn's breakfast time. And Finn, as you can see, she's hungry. That is not a blindfold on her. That is something called a fly mask. It's a mesh that just keeps the flies out of her eyes. For whatever reason, she is very sensitive to flies, especially in her eyes. They puff up and cry or tear. So I just put the fly mask on her and avoid all of that. She is a Bureau of Land Management adopted wild horse, which strangely, those types of horses are a little more prone to allergies. And if you look carefully behind Finn, you can see Ethel out there getting what we call poop candy. Which I didn't notice that that's what she was doing. So Finn here is eating alfalfa. I have no clue how much that is. I don't weigh the horse's food. It's a flake. That's all I can say. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and give her D20 feed ball. In that there are pellets, and that's just kind of a way to keep her entertained, just so she's not just standing around bored out of her mind all day. And so she enjoys her ball. And there I am, back in my hole. So I work a very sedentary job. This is basically where I spend at least 8 hours a day, if not more. And if you are astute, you will notice between that pipe and the lamp something that looks kind of like straw. And that is because we are building a straw bale house. And someday I'll actually live in the house. But since it's summertime, the house actually maintains its temperature about 75 degrees, even in 100 and some odd degree heat. So look, I found a food scale. Now if I can get it to work. So my lunch is usually leftover dinner. So dinner last night was steak. So lunch today is steak. This is 3.3 ounces of steak, which as far as I know, is about 216 grams, or excuse me, 216 calories. And to that, I shall be adding some carrots, roughly 7. And I'm giving those 28 grams as being 4 calories each. 28 calories, them being 4 calories each. And these are like heirloom variety, so that's why they're different colors. That's why there's a purple one and a yellow one and an orange one. So I really enjoy the heirloom ones. Coming up next, that green stuff is tabbouleh salad, which is parsley, mint, bulgur wheat, and olive oil and some mint juice. I was not able to find a weight measurement for it, so that's just a 1/3 cup, which is 180 grams. I've also seen it 150, but I'm gonna just take the higher caloric value just because typically you're about 200 calories off what you think. So that's why I'm always going to take the higher one. I'm always going to round up just to kind of cover all that kind of thing. And in one video of Coach Greg's, he said that most pre-packaged foods are probably about 25% off. I think that's what he said was 25. So anyway, that's why I round up. Just to kind of cover my bases. So, and now I'm going to add 4 wee little potatoes. And I'm guessing those are going to be about 58 calories. So making for a total for my lunch, 482 calories. So as I said, my meals get bigger. This is a tornado or tornado. I'm not sure how you want to actually say it. I don't know how they actually say it, but because it's straight cheese, my husband didn't want it. I bought it for him, so I ended up eating it, and as you can see, it's 220 calories. This was a very exciting day in my life because we actually went into town. So we went to the mail, and I got some Black Rifle coffee. Silencer is one of my favorite flavors. And then I got a package from Amazon. There are only 2 things in this package. One is going to be sweet and spicy tea, which tastes like fireballs. And then I have my creatine, which, yes, I pay for it in pill form. I pay the extra for it. I know it's cheap, but I like it in pill form. Thank you. It's easy. And this is one of the reasons I started getting in shape again, was because I wanted to be able to move the horse's food around fairly easily. And so this is just a bale of hay. There doesn't seem to be a real, consistent weight and measure of the hay. So you'll get some bales that are lighter than others, and these ones are actually fairly well packed, fairly heavy for what they are. I think they're probably roughly about 70 pounds. I could be totally wrong on that. I have really no idea. It's just kind of a guesstimation of what they are. I am cleaning off the platform where I store my hay. The hay has to be stored inside because where we live, there are roaming bands of cattle that will come and eat all of it. So it lives in the barn right now. And I'm just moving it onto that platform. The reason it's on a platform is because if we get a really bad rainstorm, which lately has been kind of few and far between, it will flood this stall. So this way it's up out of the water because moldy hay is not good. The horse can't eat it. You might be able to feed it to cattle because they have a different digestive system with multiple stomachs, so they can digest some stuff that's maybe not that awesome to eat, whereas horses only have one stomach and they're a little more sensitive to things like moldy hay. So I am going to feed Finn because now that I've been playing with her food, she is hungry. As you can see, she's like, hey, where's my food? And there we go with the hay again. Now we're back at the cooking. This is roughly, I don't know, 6 p.m.-ish. And these gray, unappetizing looking things are actually like McRib patties. I don't know where my mother-in-law got them, but she doesn't eat pork, so she gave them to us. So we are going to make McRibs, because that's basically what these things taste like, is McRibs. So we're going to throw them on a pan, throw them in the oven for about 10 minutes at 350. And they're already pre-cooked, so they don't really need anything more than just to be reheated. So the first 10 minutes, just them heating up, and then I put them another 10 minutes. I throw on this Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and there you go. And I sauteed up some onions. And we're going to put them on top of the McRib thingamajiggers, along with some pickles, just like you'd get them from McDonald's. And the roll there is actually homemade wheat that we made a couple days ago, and carrots and broccoli salad. Roughly 720 calories is what I'm giving that. A McRib about 500, broccoli salad I'm giving 180, and for 10 carrots I'm giving 40, so 720 calories. Then after dinner walk, Ethel's coming along with me. Ethel is a half Australian Shepherd, half Australian Cattle Dog, and she is about 8 months old. If you haven't been watching my other videos where I introduce Ethel as a little teeny tiny puppy, this is why I live here. These beautiful sunsets. I think it's beautiful out here. And here's my lovely little Ethel posing and looking pretty. It's 9:02 p.m. Guess what time that is? It's workout time. And then following my workout, I go outside and discover my husband is burning off tumbleweeds. If you have never been around tumbleweeds, they are evil and deserve to be burned. So these are last year's tumbleweeds, and they are awful. I hate tumbleweeds. With that, I hope you enjoyed my video on what I ate in a day, and I will see you in the next one. Air hugs, and have a wonderful evening.